I'm Erin Spinagle here at wonderful Hedgesville Middle School. Join me as we learn about some of the teachers here at the home of the Eagles on this edition of Be the Difference, West Virginia. We are here in Neal Hall's classroom. He's a teacher here at Hedgesville Middle. Hi Neal, how are you?
Good, how about you?
Great. Tell me a little about yourself.
Well, I've been teaching here. This is my first year teaching. I used to be in transportation for 20 plus years, and I thought, I want to make a difference. So while my wife was going to college at Shepherd, we got married her junior year, and once she graduated from Shepherd, she got her first job teaching at Inwood Primary. She loved her job, and I'd never experienced anybody loving their job, so she was the first. And then, of course, we have a family. I have a daughter who's here at Hedgesville in 6th grade. She's 11, and my son is at Tomahawk in 3rd grade. So, we're teaching family. My wife's been teaching for 10 years, and she's been my inspiration. So, that's where we've been in our whole lives. So I've been a very integral part of, she's been part of my education, and I've been part of her education. So it's pretty cool to see all that taking place.
So you mentioned that this was your second career.
Yes.
What led you to decide to become a teacher?
To make a difference. To speak into kids' lives. You see there's so much negativity out there today, and my goal was at first to be a male role model, positive male role model, but now it's just to help these kids make a difference. They're showing them you don't have to be followers, but be leaders. It's so important that today we're in society that we grow our children, teach them to be leaders, and that's my goal, is to be that positive, still male role model, but not to be afraid. And I tell my kids constantly, the ones I have here, is go for it. Don't stop. And they're not, and they do. I never thought I could come somewhere and make us a difference in such a short period of time.
So what were some of the challenges of going back to school to become a teacher with, already having a family and having an established career? Yeah,
that was the fun part of juggling everything. Most people graduate in 4 years. It took me 5 years because I had a son. When I started going to college, he was in preschool. My wife started teaching, and my daughter was old enough. They went to the same school, so that was okay. But I had to juggle my son, so I had to take classes in the morning, classes in the afternoon, just around his schedule. So that was pretty tough. But also on the same side, I was working 30 hours a week, mostly on weekends, so I didn't get to see my family because that's what we had to do to make it. And today's economy and everything going on, but so really it was just juggling family, home, because I was Mr. Mom, and school, all three of those things. So that was a real big challenge for myself, but also having my wife supporting me and give me that support. It's not so much of a challenge, but it was just great to have that. I could lean on her when times got tough at school, which they did. My first year, I was out 20 years. I went to college 20 years ago, and I come back and blown away. We have to do math over again, English, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. But she kept pushing me, said you can do it. She believed in me, and that's probably the biggest thing. She believed in me, and we kept pushing forward.
That's great. So you're a first-year teacher. What's that like with all the change that are occurring in education right now to be brand new on top of that?
To me, it's part of what we have to do. So. I enjoy a challenge, but I don't see what a challenge is. It becomes part of who we are. I think we have to be flexible and not so much complain about it, but go with it and be adaptive. And I find, that's what I find, it's the same way when I was in transportation management. You have to adapt to the situation, and I feel like that's what we have to do here in education. We can either fight it, and get angry, or we adapt to it and make it the best, not just for ourselves, but for the students that we have.
So what's something that you do in your classroom that you've got going on right now that you really enjoy, or something that you do every day that really gives you a lot of joy?
I love coming to school and meeting the kids first thing in the morning. It's morning duty, but as they come through the main hallway, I get to sit and meet every kid and say good morning, to speak into their lives every morning. Just by saying good morning to them, that means a whole lot to me. And also I get that in return from them. And then as I come down here to start my morning downstairs here, we do hands-on activities. I believe in a strong community. of learners. So we all teach each other. You know, it's just not one me up here teaching. You know, I'm the teacher. We all teach each other. I do a lot of station work with the amount of children I have and using technology. So we do a little bit of everything in here, and I want to, you know, make sure they understand that, you know, we don't have to use, like in math, we don't have to just use a calculator. You know, we have all these other opportunities here in the classroom to use, such as a lot of hands-on manipulatives that we use. And I see kids as, my students just blossom.
So if you could change the public's opinion about one thing about teachers or education, what would it be? What would you pick?
I think we are hardworking people. You know, it doesn't stop here in the classroom. It goes home. You know, work hard at home to prepare. I come in early to prepare because I want to give them the best. And I believe if you want to give anybody the best, you have to prepare yourself. And that's night and day.
We're here in MaggieBeth Ponton's classroom. She's a general music teacher here at Hedgesville Middle. Hi, MaggieBeth. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Well, this is currently my 8th year teaching, and I went to Glenville State College as a music major, and I play the flute, and then I applied for jobs, and I got the job up here, and I do general music, like you said, and then I also teach handbells, and I teach choir chimes as an extracurricular activity.
So what led you to decide to become a teacher?
Well, it runs in my family. My mom's a teacher, my dad was a teacher, and then later on an administrator. I had 2 aunts that were teachers, so it kind of runs in the blood, and I like working with people, and I like being out in the public as well.
So what is your favorite thing about working with students or teaching them about music?
My kids, of course, they're definitely my favorite, and I have all these instruments, and we use them almost every day, and what other job can you go to and you can play music and have fun? So that's definitely my favorite part, is having fun with the kids.
Tell me a little bit about some of the instruments that you have here behind us.
Well, a lot of them the school either purchased through fundraisers, or we also have gotten donations from community members, or I have also purchased them myself through the travels that I have done. I also have Orff instruments. I have a large selection, enough for almost my whole class that they get to play. This is a xylophone. And then we have gongs from China. I have sound effects that they really enjoy playing. I also have maracas, shakers, tons of drums as well. And so my kids get their hands on all of them, and they love every minute of it.
So we hear a lot about in the news about cuts to education spending, and sometimes it comes up cutting arts and music. What is your response to that? What importance do you see of having music education in the classroom?
Oh, it's extremely important because it really makes well-rounded students, and there's been data after data, test after test performed that say that our students that are involved in the arts and in music, they really do test better. They do better in reading, they do better in math. And my 2 extracurricular groups that I have some of the best students in the school in it. And they excel, and they're amazing at what they do. Plus, there's tons of careers that you can go to being a musician. It's not just performance. They could write music. Digital music is a big thing. They could be a music teacher like I am. So there's tons of career opportunities as well. And I do have to say I'm so thankful that I'm in a county that does support the arts and does support us. And we know it, we love it, or we wouldn't be able to have the instruments and the resources that we have.
So you mentioned your extracurricular activities with the hand chimes and the bell choir.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit more about those programs.
Well, my handbells are 7th and 8th graders, and I take between 11 and 12 students, and it's an audition-only group. And we perform out in the community. We have a Christmas concert and a spring concert, and then any other time that we get invited anywhere, we'll show up. And we usually have about 15 to 20 minutes worth of music. We've also gotten to perform on the Today Show during the weather. That was pretty neat a couple years ago. And we performed at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. And they've also won several awards, got invited to perform down at the State Solo and Ensemble Festival. And then my choir chimes are a group of 6th graders that again are by audition only. And they only have 2 concerts because they're just learning how to read music, but then eventually they have the opportunity to audition for the handbells.
So if you could clear one misconception for the public about what it means to be a teacher, or about education in general, what would it be?
That we definitely don't just teach to have our summers off. Many of the teachers here at Hedgesville and also in the county, they go to trainings over the summer. They are constantly coming into school prepping for the next school year. I mean, we go to school ourselves to better ourselves, and a lot of that does happen in the summer. And we really do this for the kids. Most of them love the kids that they do, and they really enjoy their job, or they wouldn't be prepping during the summer.
That's all for this edition of Be the Difference West Virginia. Join me next time as we learn more about the teachers here in beautiful Berkeley County. Until then, I'm Erin Spinagle, reminding you to be different, but more importantly, be the difference. I'll see you soon.